Brews and Banner Podcast. What up? Welcome to Brews and Banner Podcast. I'm your host, Rob G. And with me, as always, is the Legendary Brew Crew. What up, fellas?
I got water, I got, juice or whatever. It's like, y'all need twin legs? Matter of fact, I do.
To everybody is, does Delaware have an actual culture? This is the podcast that we talk about beer, but we also talk about a lot of things that's happening in the world, politics, movies, anything really that comes to our mind while we're here sampling these brews. Grab a drink and pull up a chair.
Alright, stop what you're doing, cause I'm about to ruin the image and the style that you're used to. I look funny, but yo, I'm making money, see? So yo, world, I hope you're ready for me. Now gather round. I'm the new fool in town, and my sound's laid down by the underground. I drink a bottle of Hennessy you got on your shelf, so just let me introduce myself. My name is Humpty, pronounced with the Humpty. Yo, ladies, oh, how I like to funk beat.
Does anybody know what the hell he was talking about?
No, he was just rhyming. That was the first time I heard Hennessy on a song. Ooh. I didn't know what Hennessy was.
Interesting.
I hope you shouldn't know. At that age.
Yeah, that was like 1988.
That is true.
I was like 8 years old when that song came out. But I had no idea. And then Hennessy just always started popping up all over the place after that.
Or maybe they were the official spokesman.
The brand behind it.
Yeah,
maybe.
Probably not.
I doubt it, but
Well, you know how like rappers can show up with a bottle of something in a video or mention it, and then it becomes like the phenomenon. Everybody has to have it.
For sure.
Yeah.
So maybe he has some influence. Go ahead, Rob.
Yeah, rest in peace, Shock G, the one who put the satin in his head.
Another line.
Another zinger.
Please get another line.
My name is Humpty. Pronounced with that Humpty.
There you go. Ooh. Come here, fat girl. Like you tickler.
He did not have a ghostwriter for that.
What up? Welcome to Bruising Banter Podcast, where the topic is the rocket and the brew. Well, that be the fuel. And I'm your host, Rob G, and with me, as always, the Legendary Brew Crew. What's going on, fellas?
We in here for deep, baby.
What is going on, everyone?
We are good.
We are.
Yes, you getting comments already. This time I'm about to let that record rock.
Yo, so.
I told you niggas. I told y'all.
Ain't going nowhere.
Yo, let me tell you something weird. Let me tell you something weird about what just happened. So yesterday I was late. Was it yesterday or the day before yesterday? One of my days all fucked up anyway. But for some reason, Mace popped in my head, right? So I've been looking at all these Mace interviews, freestyles, and all this shit. So it made me look at that video for Welcome Back. That was just like yesterday. And I'm like, what?
There you go.
You must have tapped into my phone or something.
Well, I'm tapping
in the aura.
Brother. Right. Brothers. I understood.
What would you like to say to our viewers who have missed you so much? And I'll say that I'm not saying that jokingly. I'm saying like the interview we did with L. Sharpton. You remember him being in the park. Will. Down home brewing. He's like, yo, he saw us on the screen. Like, where yo at? So
I had one or two people actually DM me about you. So yeah.
Well, I mean, I appreciate it.
They thought you was pulling a Rory and Maul.
Uh-oh.
Oh man.
So let's
They
get
fight
to our viewers.
what they
to our
fight
listeners.
Nothing.
I mean, it was COVID knocked me down.
Okay.
Put me in the hospital, gave me pneumonia. So I'm still not at 100%, but you know, I'm getting there.
Okay.
I'm still a little fatigued. You know, doing simple shit I never thought that I would be tired doing, like taking a shower and shit. Like I never thought that I would get in the shower and get out and be exhausted.
You usually feel like revived after, you know, like burst. You feel clean. You feel like, oh, I can move around. You know?
So basically, I try to just to make sure I'm moving around. I do like one big thing a day, like. Not even, it ain't even big necessarily, but like it's just like for my body it is. Yeah. And so I know like if I take a shower, I ain't doing nothing else. I know if I like try to straighten up the kitchen or something, I'm not doing nothing else for the rest of the day. It's time for me to go. Yeah. So fuck COVID. Fuck like it. I managed to make it a whole year without it. Don't ask me how I got it. I just randomly popped up with it. But
that's crazy.
You know. It happened. Yeah, I get it, like Rob had said before. Like you can't really. I mean, it ain't really no way around it because I was doing everything I possibly could not to get it. Like every time I touch something, I was sanitizing my hands and all this stuff, and I limit the spots that I go to. So it's like, and I ain't even been around nobody, so I don't. It's crazy. I don't know.
And that's another thing. Like you don't know how you got it.
Nah,
do you know how you got it? Because you're so, like you said, you're so safe, and you still can't pinpoint where.
I really can't pinpoint it. I mean, it's some people that I blame, but I don't, you know.
You know, that's a perfect segue.
When you got that circle of trust, somebody broke that circle.
Right. Now,
are they currently out of your circle of trust?
They can't be. I can't get them out.
You can't even kick them out.
Nah.
Damn, they just forever stuck. Which is a perfect segue to episode 113 that we did, which is the vaccination episode. Go back and listen to that episode if you need help.
Please,
figuring out if you need to get vaccinated. It seems like you should. That's my
yeah, definitely. I think you definitely should get vaccinated. I mean, I think it'll help. Let me just put it that way.
And speaking of vaccinations, I got my second shot today at 11 a.m. So I am fully vaccinated, and I will let everyone know how I am feeling over the next 48 hours, because they say the second shot will knock you down Carrie Hill.
You said today, Devin?
Yeah, I got it at 11.
All right. So what's that? So that means like 2 weeks from now, you'll be fully like you can do stuff. Yeah. Dope, man. Congratulations to both of y'all.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I am fully vaccinated. It's been over 3 weeks.
I gotta. Oh, so you done?
Yes.
Yeah, you in there?
Yeah. I'm in there. And there
was how does it work? Get COVID, though?
Yeah, but
it's not as life threatening.
But it may not be. It may not be. It's not going to be as bad. I don't think it'll be as bad. That's how does it work with you? Like, when are you eligible to get the vaccine, Yoda?
Well, technically, I'm eligible to get the vaccine
as long as you don't have it in your body.
I don't have any more symptoms. COVID.
Okay. Like, I guess you'd have to test again and basically get a negative test.
I'm gonna test again and see if I hope by now I should be negative. It's just I just still got all the bullshit that came with it, but.
But see, but I was reading something. They were saying that the breakthrough, which is when people can still catch COVID and have COVID, is smaller than they actually originally thought. So I mean, people always say, "Well, they don't know nothing." Well, it's still fairly new. So the more they learn, the more they tell you.
Right.
Exactly. So it's like if they found that the surface thing was bullshit, how do you know? Because they told you. Well, now that we did further as results. Maybe spraying off your surface. Maybe this surface issue wasn't a big thing. It was more about the droplets, and a lot of people who still say, "Why do I gotta wear my?" People who don't want to wear masks and stuff like that. They were like, "Well, I gotta wear masks." Here's the one thing is because they say that it's in a droplet. Now, if you spit, your spit is pretty big. Like the droplets that come out your thing is pretty solid. So if you have a mask on, it only goes like 3 or 4 feet in liquid form. It's when it evaporates, it goes farther. So if it catches you, so people who don't believe in masks, sneeze in your mask can tell me how that feel. How much you're getting out? Because they always use the smoke chip. They use smoke and say, "Oh yeah, it comes out." Or sneeze, see how much spit come out. It's gonna be all in your face.
And how far it goes and all that. Yeah, it's ill.
Right.
Yeah, keep your mask on.
Wear your mask.
And don't half step with the mask with the over your mouth, but
yeah,
your nose.
I'll be wanting to punch people in their nose when I see their nose out. I want to punch them in it. I'm gonna just
right there, right there.
I don't need to see your nose out here.
Yeah. The mask is to go over all that shit. Why is your nose out, dumb? God, I don't be getting it. And people really be rocking them like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way they do it. That's just how.
See, that's why
you know what?
But then that's why I'm so bitter because them the niggas that don't catch COVID.
Couple things that I've.
Well, you know what? They don't get tested for COVID either, so they probably don't know. They probably just think
couple of adjustments I made.
I don't know what this.
With the mask wearing is, you know how like the certain fabric mask or whatever are they cut to the point of kind of go, right under your nose right here, but it's kind of uncomfortable here. I saw Adrian, she turned hers upside down so that the point, and the point now it'll cover your chin. So it's less likely you're more flat across here, but it keeps how when you talk, the mask sometimes kind of moves down. By flipping it upside down, it's a little better.
I only work for non-glasses wearers because that be all in my glasses.
She is a glasses wearer.
Does she wear them all the time?
Pretty much.
That thing right there, I wouldn't mind curved.
I like mine. That's the way that it's made is the way you're supposed to wear it though. For this,
right? Not really. That's
not
the
direction. Yeah, absolutely, really.
Dave said, "Nah, that's like refrigerate after it open."
I get what he's saying. That people out here wearing bandanas and gaiters, you can wear
like they're made how they're made. The designer can make them how they want to make them. But I find it a little bit more comfortable because when you talk with the mask on, it gives you that space between your nose, your mouth, and the mask, so you can breathe a little bit more properly because that cone part is kind of like giving your mouth part a little bit more room, and you don't, when you talk, it's not moving around. It just stays put.
I mean, as long as you got it on, it's covering your mouth and your nose. I don't care how you wear it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah.
Put that thing sideways if you can figure that out.
Right. Yeah, right. Look, with a strap under here and a strap over
the strap under your chin. However you figure out how to wear it to cover up everything it's supposed to cover up. I'm for it.
So Rob, I got a question for you.
How'd
you did you wake up feeling okay this morning after our night last night?
Yeah, I was fine. I was good.
I'm getting old.
I'm
getting old.
What y'all do last night? What happened?
I'm getting old.
Shout out to Leo and Chris from Barrel.
Chris.
Oh, he
you know what? He paid for that Wi-Fi on that plane. He's on the plane right now. He got that. He must be on American Airlines. He paid for that Wi-Fi.
He about to make that plane go down.
No.
Shout out to Leo and Chris.
He's fucking up the system with his Wi-Fi.
Oh no! Now they got Wi-Fi. I mean, now you got Wi-Fi. Some planes do
have it on free Wi-Fi. Yeah,
some of them's free.
When I travel for business, I charge that shit right on the card.
Oh, he said it just touched down in Charlotte.
Okay, in Charlotte. That's why he on the plane.
Yeah, he got that connection.
It was a good time. I feel fine, and I had unlike any time in my life, I smoked more cigars than I ever smoked in my life. Probably.
I don't know if you can hear yourself, but you sound.
You sound a rough night.
Oh yeah, I know.
Because it's in me. It's all in my sinuses. I'm like, I don't know how many times, although it was education, I don't know how many times, Lou, I had to step outside. I need some air. I was like, woo! Excuse me a minute, guys. I'll be back.
Were y'all drinking? Were y'all drinking?
We had like it was tasting. So it wasn't heavy drinking, but it was like
it's more the cigar. So Devin, the cigar is the hangover for you more so than the alcohol, or the combination.
A little. Yeah, because we didn't go like heavy. However, we met up. We met up with some good folks that was also from the neighborhood that also stumbled into the event, and they lived like 4 minutes away. So Eli and Stephanie sat at our like quad table that we shared. They lived so close, and they heard about Brews and Banner podcast. He went home and got like 12 beers and was like, "Let's do it."
Oh man!
So it was a night.
Famous in there for a minute.
Yeah, we was famous.
He tired too.
Yeah,
but he was pulling all nighters though. So I know
all nighters. In the 3 days, Leo was in Philly. He told us he went from Philly to New York, back to Philly. I think back to New York again, and then back to Philly. And so no sleep.
That's a business trip. Yeah,
no sleep. But
the East Coast,
I learned a lot.
Yeah.
I gained a whole different appreciation for pairing cigars and with scotch with whiskey.
Right, absolutely, it definitely good. And the cigars, shout out to Carolina Blue Cigars. They are really smooth. So shout out to Chris.
Did anybody bring me a cigar?
I got plenty. I got plenty, and I am not going to book them all. Okay. I got plenty.
What did you say?
I can't smoke right now.
Really smooth. They're really smooth. They're really smooth.
Okay, I didn't hear it. Yeah.
They're really nice. And it didn't even matter which one it was. I mean, there was some that was a little bolder, but they were all. He said he makes most of his medium body. So you shouldn't be intimidated by the size,
like the size or the right.
It's so dumb. It's so immature. That's funny though. That's funny.
Right. Right. You see these heavy duty rolled tobacco sticks. You looking at this thing like, man, I'm gonna take a puff and not even pass. I'm gonna sit your ass down.
Fall out.
Oh wow,
it was great.
Crazy.
He told us not to bring on nothing.
Right. I couldn't go. Like it ain't like I didn't want to.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's fine.
Right.
You don't want to give me nothing because I didn't show up. That's fine.
That's dirty. It's not fun. That's dirty.
I got one for you. I got one for you, yo, for sure.
Yeah, it'll probably be about 3 months before I'm able to smoke it, but
Think positive, man. He on the man.
Sharon,
you on the right side.
Sharon is caring for me because I am not going through 6 of these things.
So there you go. So there you go, Leo. So it don't even matter what you say.
Right. I
Right.
mean, yeah, I can still feel it in my throat a little bit.
You can still hear it in your throat a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. How about that?
Were y'all on just one particular cigar, or were y'all tasting different types?
No, we had three
pairings.
Okay.
So it was, if I can get this right, the Connecticut,
right?
The Maduro,
The double Maduro
was second, and then the
Habanero or something.
Habana, I thought. Habanero, Habana.
Maybe it's Habana.
It was Habana.
Yeah, it might be Habana.
Habanero is just the pepper in it.
That's the pepper. Yeah, when I said it, I was like, well, that don't sound right.
Having Dev pronounce stuff is still one of the best things about this.
We got it right. He said we got him right.
I think the Habano.
Not
Habanero. He threw me off with the Habanero. I said Habano.
It's still, I would still say that's habanero if I looked at it.
Look at it real
Where's
quick.
The ERO? Where's the ERO in Oreo?
It's in there. It's in there.
Just glance at it. Habanero.
Right, from quick glance, you're like, oh, Habano. I'm a Habanero.
Yeah, I'll take that Habanero. Yeah, is it hot? Is it hot?
Hey, maybe that's the next one. A little spiciness to the rap.
Right. There you go.
A little pepper in there. A little pepper.
You see the comments. Go ahead and put it up. Put it up, Rob. Yes.
Yeah, that's right. That nigga shit. Habanero cigars.
Yeah, man. It was good.
Yeah, definitely was a good time. I'm glad he was able to come out and we was able to get there as well. And
there's talk of San Diego,
right,
July, guys. Or no, Vegas. He's gonna be in Vegas in July.
He's gonna be in Vegas
July 8th through the 14th.
No, I can do Vegas. I could do Vegas all day, every day.
I definitely need to get out to San Diego though, for sure.
I just need at this point. I just need to get out the house. I ain't worked all month. Listen. I could just go down the street right now and I'll be happy. I ain't even get out the fucking house.
Right.
Fucking airport. I don't even care about the airport. I want to go to the block.
Do you ask during this time? Have you just like asked Kelly to like put you in the car and like take you for a scenic ride or anything?
Nah, I just asked her to just try to go find me a new body.
Oh man, that's heavy.
That's harder.
That's heavy.
I tried to look one up on Amazon. I was like, it gotta be Amazon got everything from A to Z but bodies.
Mm-hmm. You should try East Bay. East Bay may have a body. They were underground.
Man.
Oh, we 21 minutes in, but I didn't ask.
Oh, it's okay.
Today, fellas.
I know. I was repouring my beer saying, is he gonna ask us?
I was almost done.
I don't have a beer, so I wasn't repouring anything.
Right.
What are you drinking today, Dev?
Oh man. I pulled out something that had been sitting in the refrigerator for way too long, but it's like everything I've been like looking through is like everything is above like 10% in my refrigerator, and I'm like, it's only 1 o'clock.
Oh, that one you got,
but you made it that way. You made it that way with your threshold.
I do.
Yeah,
I know. You're right. You're right. So I thought about cracking that Mac.
10%.
That Mac Bruin was in my It was in my hand. That was that 19% one. I said, no.
Mm-hmm.
Sit that down. I'm gonna sit that down before it sit mine.
You want to be off camera when you drink that one.
Right. So this particular beer called the Sangria Noir is from the Rare Barrel beer company, and this is their golden sour beer aged in oak barrels with Pinot Noir grapes, mandarin oranges, lime zest, cinnamon, and star anise. This is coming in at a whopping 10.2%. Yeah. And Rare Barrel, it is. I didn't have anything less. I couldn't do nothing else. Everything was high. This was like the best. I was like, you know what? Let me
shout out to D. Neil Beer Talk for that as well.
Yeah, because that beer is good too.
It was really good.
D. Neil. This is Berkeley, California. Again, the Northern California. So I went West Coast. Pass me another. I like it. I went with a smaller pour because it being sour, I wasn't exactly sure. So I went with a small pour. But I'm now in my second refill of this Sangria Noir. So again, pass me another.
All right. What are you drinking on?
I got me some nice bottled water.
Oh,
delicious.
All right.
You didn't go Perrier?
I had some ginger beer. That's pretty good.
That's a good choice right there.
What's the ABV on that?
It's just ginger beer. It's like a strong ass ginger ale is what it is. A real strong ginger ale.
All right.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with it.
I'm just trying to get my life back together. Okay.
I got you.
Yeah. One step at a time, man. Keep on with that.
Yes,
H2O.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. Lou, what you drinking?
Here I have the UFO, Georgia Peach.
UFO.
It's a summer seasonal. It's a hazy wheat beer with fresh peach flavor. This UFO company is employee owned. It's a 5.1 alcohol by volume. It's brewed out of Boston, Massachusetts, and Windsor, Vermont. It says only here that it's brewed with natural flavor. So I'm not sure.
It ain't that aseptic though.
Like, yeah, it ain't actual peach puree and nothing like that. But it tastes really good. Craft endeavor since 1998. So they've been around for a little bit. This is what it looks like. Kind of orangey, peachy. It tastes good. It tastes good. It doesn't taste like a wheat ale.
Is that a Woman's Brew Works glass?
It is.
Does it taste like peaches in it?
It's a hint. It seems like wheat ales always have a hint of whatever flavor they try. Like it's wheat with a hint of raspberry, wheat with a hint of peach, but it's really wheaty. It's really ale-y. I like it.
I don't know if they still make one, but I know like Iron Hill Brewery used to make a good wheat ale. I mean raspberry wheat ale, and you could taste the raspberry.
We had a wheat ale last night from Bell's Brewery. Was that the name of the brewery?
That was out of.
Speaking of raspberry, I do have a double fist today. I got this raspberry beer. It's by Flying Fish Brewery. It's 5% brew with a bunch of raspberries in it. I just had it sitting on the table. Y'all said raspberry. Here we go. It's a Belgian style wit ale. If I get to it, I'll get to it.
You only got one?
But that's it.
I was
I only got one.
Oh, you mean one?
I want to taste that.
You got one?
I feel you. You know where I go, man. This is that beer.
Okay,
beer wine.
Look,
next time I go, I'll give you another one. I get an extra one for you.
Well, we can meet up. All right.
Yep. For sure. Rob G.
Yes, sir.
What would you be drinking on today, sir?
I'm glad you asked. I'm actually drinking from Wrong Crowd Brewing Company out of Westchester, PA. It's a Sippy of Angels. There it is, right there.
Sippy of Angels.
Wordplay, I like that.
Oh man, I love that can.
Yeah, Sippy cups.
Yeah, I love that can.
It's a hoppy blonde ale. So I mean, I'm blonde ale fans. You know that's real light, but I guess it's the hoppiness. So because it added a little more some haziness to it. So it's a little.
Wow. Does it give it a more IPA feel to it with all them hops?
A little bit. I mean, it's light work. It's only 4% ABV. So,
nice.
Okay, that's a real good summertime.
You should have poured it.
Oh, because it's sippy. It's sippy for the little kids, for the little baby drinkers.
Okay.
For the people that don't like the part.
Third eye. I got
you. Know what I'm saying? It's all about the mentals today. It's all about the mentals.
That's why you should have put it in the sippy cup. I know you got one.
Yeah, that was a crazy shit.
I got no more sippy cup.
You probably got one in the back corner somewhere.
Yeah, we always keep one.
I forgot about. Oh, look at this sippy
cup. I mean, it's definitely.
That's a new. That's the first time we had that brewery on the pod too. Are they new?
I'm not sure when exactly they started, but I think they're a smaller brewery. I'm not sure. It don't because when I looked up their website, it didn't really say exactly when they started, so I'm not really sure. Okay. But I mean,
did you go up there? Or did they found that at the store?
I actually was at It was funny because one of the guys used to be the manager at Pinocchio's. It's a beer garden and pizzeria up in Media. So I was up in there, and that's where I got it from. So that's where. So it was from, and I got it in there. But they do. They can quite a bit of stuff. So I'll try to check out more of their stuff. This is definitely it's definitely hoppy. I forget what the hops it was. I think it was salt 10 or something like that. Nah, I don't remember off the top of my head. I think that's what he said. I mean, I think that's what the can. Oh wait a minute, shit! The can's right in my face.
I was gonna say I look on the can. It don't say it.
It's right on the can. You know, everything I need is on the can.
Sultana and Trident hops.
Trident hops.
Yeah, so it's engineered for an all-day sippy cup. So it has some tropical notes to it. A little pineapple, like on the nose, especially not too much on the tongue, but on the nose you can taste some of that. Smell some of that tropicalness of it. It's a solid beer. I don't know. I'm still on the fence. I'm still haven't got this. Do I want to pass me another, or is just have one?
Yeah.
And it might be because it's just it's a light beer. And like blonde ales is normally what you are real popular in America because it's normally light, crisp. Some I like a lot of your heavyweights are normally blonde ales and stuff like that are dominating in the regular circles. In the commercial big beer people are blonde ales type of stuff. So they added a little swing to it by adding the hot extra because normally like blonde ales are normally not really too malty, not really. It's normally like really balanced, not too hoppy, not too malty either. So this one is a little hoppier, which is why hence the name a hoppy blonde ale. But it's a solid beer. So shout out to the folks at Wrong Crowd Beer out of Westchester.
For sure.
Try to get some news. I think they just dropped something on Friday or something new. So maybe I'll try to get up there and cop that as well.
Okay.
Yoda, you asked about the peach in this. The smell. I didn't even mention that. The smell is really peachy. So that's the most peach that you get. Then
it don't taste more peachy. It don't taste more peachy as it's getting warmer.
No, not at all. It tastes it's the same all the way through. But once the sniff is real peachy, less weedy, more peachy. Cheers.
Less weedy, more peachy. Hey.
Yeah, this stuff definitely leans more. The more I drink it, the more it leans more. Almost even though it's hazy, it does lean a lot West Coast IPA-ish.
It looked like it.
But that thing looks hazy as hell. Yeah,
but it doesn't lean a little West Coast because it is it definitely has some bitterness to it and all that good stuff. But I mean, hey, if you rock with bitterness, then this might be the one. And it's 4.4%.
If you can drink all day. If you're an IPA drinker and it could be a good transition beer to try to drink a different style.
Right.
Maybe.
Yeah, and it's 4.4, so definitely summertime is
summertime fun. That shit all day. All right.
National.
It's in the hammock. It's like a hammock beer.
All day.
All night. All right. Well, today is Pop Top.
Pop Tops.
We are a half hour in, but
hey,
man, listen.
Whatever we talk about is relevant. Whatever we talk about is relevant.
Look, the first 20 minutes was very relevant. That was a COVID conversation in the middle of a pandemic.
Everybody's been asking and waiting and concerned.
And this is called the check-in 3.0. So other than that, how you fellas doing today? How y'all fellas are doing? We don't ask that.
I think that's important as 4 black men to check in on one another. We all
because he really thought about it and said, I think that's important.
I think it's important. It is important. We all, I must say, we all lead similar. We all lead similar lives. You know what I mean? Similar lives. So it is important for us to, and I talked about this last night, even at the pairing, is that we all have kind of these commonalities, but we have this podcast as a branch / outlet from the things that we do kind of professionally, the things that make money and things like that. We do this as a job, but it's one of those kind of like jobs that you don't give it a lot of. It doesn't take a lot of work to do it, but we enjoy it. So in terms of checking in on us, in terms of my side, home base is good, safe and sound mentally. I think my goal for 2021 is my health is like super, super important to me. And reason being is like I went to get my shot today, but where I got my shot, Fave, who was actually on the podcast, I've actually picked her up as my doctor.
Okay.
And like the last 2 visits, my blood pressure is extremely high. And so when she took it 2 weeks ago, or just for a regular visit, she was like, maybe it could just be the fear of the white coat. That's what doctors call it, the fear of the white coat. You hear, you get excited or whatever. So for 2 weeks ago, I stopped. I stopped eating steak. It's like, maybe that's what it is. You know what I mean? I'm trying to figure out because
How much
it could be diet. I think, I told her the same story today. Is I think that normally we used to eat steak like if we would go to a restaurant, but now it's kind of we've incorporated it now into our like 5 to 7 day a week diet. Even though we're making it at home, eating it more could be affecting me, and I don't, because
before COVID, you were just eating it out on like restaurants.
Like a special occasion type of thing,
right? Yeah, but now it's like
I'll have a New York strip. Now it's like once a week.
Now it's at least once a week.
At least once a week. At least, you know what I mean?
Right. Steak on the list every week.
Every grocery list. Make sure you put steaks on there.
The steak on there.
5 pounds of steak.
So just in that, I think I'm a little bit more conscious, but my blood work and everything came back good. She's like, I was good. I didn't see anything else alarming. Your blood pressure is just higher. But that could be, there could be a couple different things. It could be diet. It could be stress. It could be not enough sleep. It could be all these things. So now I'm just paying attention to it more. And I feel like I've been really, really more in tune with my body just in general. So in terms of that, I feel good, but that's a concerning number. It was like 140 something over 90 something.
Yeah, that's high. When you hit that 50 age, boy, you gotta
watch it. Watch it.
Or the question everybody always needs.
I'm giving him credit for his looks. I
think this. Yeah, baby. I got that Billy D look. Look at it. I look like Billy D.
Billy D 90 now. Billy D 90.
Yo.
I think I ask this all the time. But when
got that little.
He do look like he about 78, right? Instead of 91.
Skin tight.
Yeah, Billy look different.
When do men have to get prostates? I always ask this question. I don't never remember.
I got that answer. I'm going to talk about my yeah. It's 40, but nowadays they can do it with your blood work. They can check your blood work first, and if your blood work come back in a negative way, then they go in there with the finger. But they ain't going there with the finger first. Now it's just they want to make you do some blood work and checks. I did my blood work just a month and a half ago. I don't have to get 40.
I thought it was like 45, unless you had like history.
We're all black men. We're all black men.
So we need to check it now.
It may be 40. It may be 45. It may be 45 for
45
men.
Is
for men,
the average
but
age.
For black men, the earlier the better. Like go at.
I was at a family funeral.
Especially since you just gotta get your blood work. Since you only gotta get blood work, go at 38. Because you only got to get your blood work done for the first part of it. Yeah. And the earlier you check, if you got it, the faster they find out, the better it is for you as far as curing it and saving yourself. So
shout out that checked out, yo. Plus, if you at the age you are now, if you go into a physical at any time, your doctor should be discussing that with you anyway.
Absolutely.
At this point.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. And if they not, get another doctor. Yeah, discuss it with that doctor. Discuss it with that doctor, and then find another doctor. Afterwards, because they don't know what the fuck they doing.
But you said something real. That white coat anxiety is real.
It's real. You think so?
It is because
it's a real thing. It definitely is.
When I went,
I think it depends on if you like going
the doctor, how your comfort level.
Yeah,
and I told Survey that I said I know you since you were like young before she was a doctor. I knew her,
but not her being a doctor though. Like
right,
I know. I mean,
because it may have been it may have been better for your white coat theory because you did know her and you felt more comfortable where it would have been if you didn't know that particular doctor.
And she's taken it a couple times. Like I don't think it was. She was saying to herself like, listen to me trying to kind of make that as the reason, but like she took it a couple times, like in the beginning of the visit, and then she waited. And then she did it like at the end, because they say usually if it should go down if it was high when you first get there. And now we at the third time, and she's like, I'm ordering you your own to take it at home every day.
Right.
Like,
okay.
so it's beyond the white coat, fear of the white coat.
Right.
So that's what you're into right now.
Master
So you gotta
Sticks.
get the actual sleeve and do it yourself.
Yeah, I
Master
got to do it every
Sticks.
day myself.
It's beyond the
How
white
long you
coat
got-
and
how
it's
long-
the stakes.
Yeah, you gotta get off
I don't
them
know.
steaks, man.
I know. I did cut them out. I just cut them out.
I mean, but it could be a
But
lot
it
of
may,
things. I mean,
it could be a lot of
but if you
things. I
went
think
back
it's
after
diet,
2
though.
weeks, if you went back after 2 weeks, it's probably not just the steaks. It could be
Correct.
It could be stress. It could be
stress.
another. It could be all the
anything,
cheese you
really.
eat. I don't know if you eat cheese, but it could be all the cheese you eating.
I
It
eat
could
it
be a
all.
lot of other things. Yeah, you know what I mean. I
mean,
know it's all them chips. I know it's all the chips and candy that you got stashed away throughout the house. Yeah,
You know
you
it.
can cut the steaks out all you want. That chips and candy got to
That
go.
fresh salsa and tortillas is the shit.
but I mean, the pandemic is stressful on its own. So it's like, so I mean, that's a stress level that even if you don't think you're feeling it, you probably are feeling it because there's some things you can't move like you used to move. So it's still like, I can't do like I used to do.
Hey, Rob,
then you're a black father in America,
right?
So that's a whole other level of stress.
And you know, like I'm glad I could tell you something else I cut out of my diet. I cut CNN out of my diet after the election. I was
all of the news outlet.
I cut and not just the election and the impeachment. I stopped. I haven't watched CNN since the impeachment because it was just too much. I was just like so obsessed, addicted. First thing I would do, I would get up, I would use the bathroom. I wouldn't even brush my teeth yet, and I was turning on CNN like, what's going on now?
Wow,
you know, that's too much.
So you cut that off cold turkey? How was that addiction?
Cold turkey, I like Don Livin and what's the other boy's name? The
Chris
brother Cuomo. I like him, but they get you riled up. You be like, yo, I'm meeting you where you at. I'm about that life. I'm ready to fight.
Right. Calm down, Devin. It's be 6 a.m. Wired.
I mean, just speaking of like, you know what I mean? This actually, I mean, well, everybody else doing good. No, I think Dev said how he was feeling. Everybody else is doing.
Everybody.
It's good emotionally, physically.
Yo, one thing that
I'm taking care of my mental.
Yo, one thing I did notice is that like I've been feeling a little down lately and irritated only because I can't do what I want to do.
Right.
And it's like, because remember I was saying like the simple shit makes me exhausted. And like, so I found myself getting smart with everybody. I've been getting smart with I've been getting smart with everybody just because it's like I'm irritated. And the thing is that they don't understand why I'm irritated. And I'm like, yo, if I only knew.
Right.
That every time I get up, it feels like I'm carrying somebody else with me. You will understand that why I'm so irritated.
I wonder if women would equate that to like pregnancy. No, just not to make a joke of it.
Probably,
you know what I mean?
That's probably why Kelly just told me shut the fuck up.
Like, you only got 3 weeks. You only got to be here for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I think this is 9 months. No, I like to bring up something. Like I told y'all a minute ago, I've been dealing, just trying to focus on my mental health and keeping that situated and straight. But as we hit this particular age in our lives, me personally, I've been suffering from a lot of death around me, and not like older people, like people of my own age. And it's funny because as a young person, you see that your parents were like, "Yo, I read the obituaries." I'm like, "Yo, what the fuck are you doing?" They're like, "You never know who I knew that passed away." And then I'm like, I just found out on Thursday that a friend of mine passed away 3 weeks ago. And they're still like, I talk to him like maybe once or twice a year, and just like, dang, like he just died. You know what I mean? And like, I'm not close with his family, and they want to keep it private, so I don't know how he died. I don't know what the services were like. I don't know if he's buried, where he's buried, like that. Jesus. So I just like, as we get to this age, like I know we've already suffered some type of death in our lives. We've grieved over someone, but it starts to hit us closer when they start to be high school classmates and teammates and people you grew up with and things like that. You never really think it's going to happen. Like, it's like a double-edged sword. We're blessed because we're old enough to be able to read about those things, but then at the same time, we're losing those people that were so close to us at different points in our lives. So Go to therapy if you got a therapist. If you don't have a therapist and you want one, go see a therapist. Find a hobby to vent, to release anything that is messing with your mental health, man. Like mental health is very, very important to me. From the beginning of this podcast till now, like I don't know if anybody notices, but I've done a 180 on my mental health. I like myself now, and it's very important that you like yourself and appreciate yourself no matter what anybody else thinks. Go ahead,
That's true. Tamara, that was crazy. Three classmates passed away 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, like my one of my best friends, Tamara, one of my best friends passed away in February. Another friend passed away in March and April. So I'm 3 for 3 in the last 3 months. And I'm like, yeah, what's Meg bringing besides springtime?
Man, listen, I can't wait till April over here. Something just ain't right with April. I gotta to go.
It's been a
and then you top on the death that you see. Like some of your, I don't know if they're heroes, but some of the people that you like,
DMX, Black Rob, like all our whole college rap soundtrack is getting sick and passing away.
Thank you, and thank you to Tamara, Lou. She said,
"Oh, thank you, Tamara. I appreciate that. I'm sorry for your losses too, Tamara. thank you, Daddy Dev. Thank you, Papa Dev.
I'm your cousin. I'm your big cousin. Don't call me Daddy. I'm your big cousin. I am my cousin.
Not Daddy.
I'm on this podcast. I am the oldest, even by months. I'm the oldest, big cousin.
That makes you Papa.
You're a big cousin.
Oh yeah, Tamara, thank you. I'm sorry for your loss. Sorry for your loss as well. Yeah, I forgot what we were saying after Dev told me.
No, you're talking about like DMX and Black Rob,
like our whole college soundtrack is just like getting sick. And this DJ on the radio, he was mentioning it, and he was like, "Yo, we're going to really notice like how many rappers out there didn't protect their investments when they were coming up because they're gonna start getting sick." He was like Nate Dogg was really sick, and it seemed like he could have gotten better if he had the right insurance and money. And the same with Black Rob was asking for money at the end. It's just it's hard to see, and you never realize the death is happening all year around you until it actually starts hitting home. Like my whole probate was Black Rob and DMX and Mobb Deep, and all of them dudes is gone. You know what I mean? Like shit.
My ADP's greeting was whoa.
yeah. Whoa. Shit.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Protect your mental health no matter what, man. You're number one.
Yo, one thing I probably shouldn't have did while I was sick was watch the whole Derek Chauvin case.
I don't watch any of it.
I watched it from the beginning, from the beginning to the end, yo. From the beginning, once I was committed,
you had a crazy predicament too because you couldn't do nothing else but be in the house. So it's like, oh, I'll have it.
Right. Well, even before I got it started before I got sick. I don't feel traumatized. It was actually really eye-opening, to be honest. Watching it proceedings and stuff. Yeah, watching it from the beginning to the end. Just seeing what type of the type of shit that the defense has to. That's some hard work, yo.
Yeah.
People be talking about the defense attorney and all this shit, but like, I mean, somebody got to do it. One.
Somebody's got to do it. They got to represent them.
Right.
Then for two, that is the hardest job I could only imagine. Like,
because at least 50% of him think the dude guilty. Like, yo, you killed the dude. We gotta get you off of this.
I started making fun of him a little bit because I thought it was funny. Because it was like, honestly, my man
they was pulling their straws, wasn't they?
My man would get up there and have his papers at some point. He'd be like, okay, you're a cop, 20 years, no further questions.
Oh shit, that's crazy. That's crazy as hell.
Okay, let me certify you. Let me give you my certification. Okay, 20 years.
He was like, so I heard you say something about
you got more years on me. I'm not even glad you know.
You're a cop. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, he was like, so aggressiveness. That's what I heard you mention something about asphyxiation, and he be like, yes. Okay, no further questions. It's like what do you? That's what he had. what did you really have to work with? Like it was hard, and then that's why he ended up going so far as to like trying to make it seem like it was heart condition, like exhaust from the pipes from the.
Oh, that was just such a reach,
like,
wasn't it?
Yeah, but like he had to. I couldn't even blame him. He had to reach.
Right. To that point, Yoda. I think that if any of us, were to pass away today or tomorrow, and it's because that made me think of that point. If any of us die, we probably would have carbon monoxide in our body because we breathe it in, from like in the air and everything like that. So to say, oh, did you guys think to look at this because they like in the middle of the trial they was on some old like they said did you look at you watched the tape, right? To the medical examiner, they was like, did you notice that George Floyd's face was faced toward the tailpipe? As soon as I heard him say that, I was like, oh my God,
right.
He can go there.
Okay. Let's say
it's like 0.2%.
That's what I was about to say.
That's what I was about to say.
He's still guilty. They should have took the keys out the ignition while they
and you put him there.
Right. You he didn't ask to be there. Put me on the ground. Put me by the exhaust cap. Come on.
But that's why I was saying it was like real eye opening. It was. I probably shouldn't have did it because I was already sick, and it kind of like put me in a weird space. But like it was very, very eye opening.
So Yoda, I'm gonna disagree with you. It was traumatic for you.
No, I said it was. I said it put me in a weird space. I said it put me in a weird space, but like to me, it was necessary for me because it was just like because last time that I've seen or even thought of a case like this was freaking Rodney King, but I was young, so I wasn't really interested in really trying to figure out. I knew what happened, but it's like
you didn't
I didn't care as much because I was young. But now with me being older, it's like let me see what the hell is what's going to happen with this. Like how do you get out of this? Pretty much like with all this video and all this stuff going on. So I had to. I just had to. I had to.
And the thing it was interesting after before the verdict was read, people thought it was going to be the same old. It was like, oh, what?
That was the scary part of it, though. Right. That's what made it scary. That's where the anxiety came in.
It make me nervous that so many people, so many cops testified against this dude and went against him. Like, it feel like something else is behind the scenes. Like, it feel like it's a bigger racist plan behind. Like, we're gonna sacrifice one dude so we can make more laws to get you. Like, they passed some protesting laws where if you get arrested for protesting, you can't run for office. And most of the people that protest for us end up running for office as they get older. So it's like, I'm 18 and I got arrested for a misdemeanor protest charge, and now I'm 30 and I'm like, I'm a lawyer. It's exactly. So it's just like all this stuff is like it's a bigger right. Like we getting one conviction, but like everybody say, accountability ain't justice because they writing laws behind this shit to make it worse.
Right. So it's like making it harder for protest, even though that's a freedom. That's your right.
That's a free right. Because the most people that it ain't the right doesn't protest. The left are the protesters. For the most part, the left protest. When the right protests, they commit felonies and treason, and they call it misdemeanor. So fuck them, yo. It's you gotta just watch what you're doing, man.
Yeah. I mean,
good for the family, good for the Floyd family and all of them. But fuck them, yo.
I mean, the whole trial, even when the verdict came down, I think I had a thug cry. I don't know. I cried.
It was emotional.
I cried because I didn't think it was going to go the way that I wanted it to.
Right.
And when it did, it was like, wow.
Right.
When they came back so fast, though, I felt confident.
Yeah, I did too. But
it was going to take like 3-4 days. Yeah, you never know. But it was more confident.
Because the news said that they would have known. The reporter said they would have known if they had any questions because they would have asked their questions during Zoom. And the fact that they didn't have any, they were like, "Oh, we know firsthand that this is this is unanimous."
And then with that going on, and then the what's the little boy name that got shot?
Dwayne Wright.
The week before.
Yeah,
Is it Dwayne Wright?
Talking about, or the 13-year-old boy that got shot, or the
Toledo.
16-year-old girl that died that got shot, like within like a week.
Yo, so yeah, it's been a lot, man. It's been a lot. With that the 16-year-old girl, some people are saying that it was justified. I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
You can't bring
she didn't come at the cop. She didn't come at the cop. She was even if she harms. I'm not saying
he had a
taser. He had a taser
and everything. Yeah, he could.
She was not. She was not coming at the cop.
Not at all, man.
I know some people are trying to make light of like, if they like he should, if they trying to stab my child, please shoot the person. But see the thing, and I don't think a lot of people like realize how traumatic, because she was like, they try to make her a woman. No, she was 16, so she was a child,
and she called the cops. She's the one who called.
Right, they were saying
they were at her house.
So that means they were losing the fight. So that means they were losing the fight because she took their knife. And if she had two people there and she jabbed at one but didn't cut him, and then jabbed another one, that means she was trying to keep them away from her probably.
Yes.
And it's like I know they say cops only have a split second to make a decision, but then you see things like in Denver or in Charlotte or in North Carolina where
South Carolina,
they hold a knife or whatever at the cop.
They shooting, took one of your own. They shot. He killed one of you,
and they still did.
Right,
and they still come out.
And like, you don't even get. And like, you gotta make a split-second decision, but you can wait a couple of seconds, and you could come out with your taser, like.
Right,
fuck
the taser would have
shit. Like, a
taser would have stopped her dead in her tracks.
You never even assessed the situation. Like, you just you knew you was going to fire your gun before the car stopped. You knew it.
And
you knew you were going into a hostile. Like, you were scared from the jump.
And my thing is, like, with being a police officer, excuse me, that can't be the first time you went to a fight where there was a knife. No way.
Right.
And my thing is, like, a lot of people have been posting that, man, I wish you if that was my daughter, blah, blah, blah. But my thing is that if those was all white kids, everybody would have still been alive right now. Everybody.
Yep. Exactly.
In addition to that,
and that's what you gotta think. It ain't no I'm happy that he shot her if that would have been my kid. No. Your kid shouldn't have been at my daughter's house.
Right.
Trying to jump her in the first place, dummy.
Yep.
Right. And the other thing is this.
That is true.
Okay. What she said right here.
Well, she was talking about the boy who was shooting during the protests and
right.
And he had a gun in his hand, loaded, already shooting folks, and he still came out.
He still came out alive.
He walked past.
He didn't get arrested. He didn't get arrested that night.
He didn't even get arrested.
Found him after it, and actually it was with public.
Somebody else got arrested for killing his ass.
Right, and that's what be pissing me off when white people start talking about stuff like this. Like, it's like, y'all, we will never understand. Like, they always. What's my man saying? He said that white people will get it until their kids start dying. Getting killed by the cops.
Yeah, Cuomo did that. Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, he's absolutely right.
Yo, all the gay rights have been passed when these old people started having their kids started coming out of the closet. The Asian rights bill just passed this week, and all these fucking Republicans got Asian wives. Like, as soon as that shit hit home, that's when you start reacting. Right, when somebody in your house telling you they are oppressed, the whoever is the senator or the governor or in the house, they go into the courts and like, oh, pass this bill. It's affecting my family. But unless it's affecting your family, y'all, they don't give a fuck.
Right.
And they're not going to.
But see, and I don't really anything that Candace Owens says, I take as a grain of salt.
I don't even know who Candace Owens is.
One, she's married. She's married to the power. She's married to the power structure. So therefore, she already bought in to the power structure. And so anything she says, she is happy on how it stands because it benefits her. And she knows if she goes against the grain, especially
they're gonna kick her out. They're gonna kick her out.
Is this chick who was talking about LeBron's tweets and shit?
Yeah, probably the same lady.
Like,
here's another food for thought too. As an African American race, as the only black race, we're the only race that has to defend the stigma of when crime happens, and they say, oh, what about black on black crime? Why are you killing each other? Do you realize that it's happening in every other race, but we're the only race that has to defend that question when it's said.
Every crime,
nobody else.
Majority of the crimes are the same race doing it against each other.
Same race doing it against each other, but we're the only race that has to defend that.
I don't think we have to defend it, though. I think it's just that when people mention it, when I say
what you mean is that it's in the culture. It's in the culture. It's in the American culture of
that's because somebody made up black on black,
white on white crime or Asian on Asian crime.
That's what crime.
Yeah,
crime is crime. Now, what I don't agree with, because on that same aspect, is my thing is that you already with black people as a whole, we already know that there's a lot against us already. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so it's like when we do dumb shit and kill each other, it's like, what the fuck? Really? Come on. And it's normally over something stupid. And so that's the only thing that really pisses me off about it, because it's like we got enough assistance. We're getting rid of this.
That's just what's put out there. If you see what these white on white quote unquote trailer trash times are, it's petty.
But that's what my thing is. I can't worry about somebody else's culture.
But you don't have to. But what I'm saying is every culture kills for petty shit. It's just that what Devin said earlier, they put black on black crime to the forefront, it's
to the highest.
Actual pandemic.
It's an actual pandemic.
There's no such thing as white on white crime or Asian on Asian crime.
You don't even hear that term.
It's not a such thing. So when you get upset, right. So when you get upset, when you're saying you get upset, I hear what you're saying. You get upset because it seems petty and ignorant, but at the same time, they're not telling you about the petty and ignorant white on white crime that's happening too. It's all petty and ignorant.
They've made it a term as if it's the only thing that is.
That's the only thing is that they made it a term. But we know white people shit's worse because they do massive killings instead of just one or two.
Yes, they are.
One person, they killing everybody.
And they be involved in interracial killings the most. They kill everybody.
And they be involved in fucking cutting up motherfuckers, the whole house dying, everybody. They slicing up niggas
and then we burn it down.
Killing their parents because they ain't leave them. They ain't leave them no money.
Right, and I think that's what people seem to not understand. It's probably systematic trauma that goes on. Even the fact that you they're saying nothing changes until it start affecting you personally. That's the same thing in terms of the crack epidemic. Oh, it was put them in jail. Right. Now there's the opioids and now it's hitting your community.
Let's get
rehab. So they rewrote the insurance policy. They rewrote the insurance policy that you can go if you ask your boss that you need rehab, they can't fire you. But if they find out you're doing drugs before you ask for rehab, they can fire you. And the majority of people that are found out to be doing drugs and get fired are black and people of color. People that ask to go to rehab first, those are the white folks in those companies. That's a fact.
And then they want to crack down on the pharmaceutical companies. There's no cocoa leaves in the hood. We ain't make cocaine to coke it up and crack. We didn't do that.
They ain't watch Snowfall.
Right.
Fucking CIAs. Y'all bought that shit to us. We didn't look for it.
They didn't have to watch. They had to watch Snowfall. They got the files, Yoda. They did it.
That's back too. Even the weed, folks out getting billions and making money off of this, and you got the young boys in there and doing jail for a hard time. I think there's some cats in there for 30 years for weed. I think I saw.
Right.
That's crazy.
It may be their third offense or something like that. And look, if weed is legal in almost 50% of the states in America, you can't. You gotta let these people go, man.
Let these people go.
If they nonviolent offense, if they got 30 years for just selling weed,
right?
Dude,
you know what?
Jail, man.
They were entrepreneurs ahead of their time. Look,
exactly,
right,
exactly. They would have did it. If you would have taxed it, if you would have taxed it back then, they would have did it legally back then.
Right. See, that's the thing. You just can't let them out of jail. You can't just let them out of jail. You have to actually also give them. You guys have to also give them a pathway to get into the illegal weed game as well. Because right now they make that shit so hard that you gotta make crazy money. So you gotta be allow them to make a pathway. In that. I mean, and there's some states that doing. I think there was one state that legalized weed. I can't remember what it was. They legalized weed and they let the weed offenders out. I can't remember what state that was. I read it the other day. But you also got to give equity into the marijuana business as well.
Right. If they go to jail for weed, you gotta let them out and let them get a piece of this. If they want a piece, they should get the first dibs. Right. They shouldn't have to sign. They shouldn't have to pay for no. They shouldn't have to get no loans. It should be grant money given to them to start whatever part of the business that they want. You got 1 year.
Do y'all think once weed is federal? Is legalized federally, well, wherever you at. Do you think that if you get caught selling weed illegally, that the charges should be higher at that point?
I don't know, because I mean, who's gonna buy? Where you gonna get illegal weed from?
Huh?
It's gonna be so prevalent.
People still be selling it the same way it is now, because the thing is that like when it starts going to dispensaries, that shit gets expensive.
And check it, you're gonna have to use your ID. You gotta use your ID to get in them dispensaries, and they tracking where your comings and goings. You gotta use your debit card sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, so it may still be. I don't want
that. Look, I don't want that on my transactions.
But here's the thing: if they
we got the receipt. No, thank you.
Cash only.
Well, that's the thing. If they make it legal, then you should be able to grow it like you grow tomatoes in your own backyard.
Is it with like lottery?
I agree with that.
Lottery, you got to pay with cash for lottery, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Like that's how it should be.
I don't know. That vending machine at the Wawa, I think you can use your debit card.
You can put a card in there. Yeah, but that's
scratch off. Right.
I'm about to say,
if you go hand in hand, if you go for a hand in hand, you gotta pay for cash with that.
You got to
can't debit a hand in hand.
It should be cash for weed.
So at this point, it should be federally legal. I'm not sure what they're waiting on. It should be, and all the people who are in there for weed,
bodies to put in jail. Like they still trying to figure out how to.
That is still people to put in jail, and then it's still people that's just
they don't want to let the ones go.
That's the thing.
Fucking just think that it's still this gateway. Like I don't understand why people think it's a gateway drug. Like if you want to do crack, you're gonna do crack. Fuck no matter what. Yeah, you want to do crack, you're gonna do it. Like it ain't no gateway.
Well, I don't know how I feel about that, because just like how we talk about gateway beers, you know what I mean. I will have to think to agree that.
But you're not going to try a sour. You're not going to try a sour as a gateway to be a drug.
No, but no.
Right, weed ain't crack. It's different types of beer in the whole scheme of things. You try a sour because it's a gateway to get to the IPA, but they all beers.
I'm with you.
You're saying they might be tasting a little high? Is that what you're saying?
It is all involves that social aspect.
It's different.
It's a social aspect. That element is still the same, and from a social aspect, the same way, like you would say, like, yo, I'm not into sours, right? I'm like, yeah, look, you should try these sours. It's a social influence that it's like it could start out as this, and someone is saying, look, we trying this. I'm with my group of friends. We close. We buddies. And all it takes is one person.
My friends, dog.
Well, I'm just saying, but all it take is one person in the
circle. That's not how that works.
I will hope there's nobody in my circle who would be like on some old like, yo, let's take it up a notch.
Take it up a notch by asking me what a higher ABV. You want to go to this 10% ABV?
Think about it. A lot of.
Let's go to crack.
A lot of our family members that from that era of the 90s or the 80s when crack did happen, that is how it happened for them. It was at a party. They had never tried it before.
Yeah.
Right. It was a social influence. It happened that way for a lot of our family members because they wasn't into that shit. They was doing the same thing.
Listen to the time. That's not right. It's not a gateway.
It's not a gateway. Weed wasn't the gateway to us doing crack. It was a party where somebody had crack and they was like, "Yo, I'm doing crack. You my friend."
But at that party, it was probably started out as the weed, the beer, and somebody bought that extra thing to the party.
And a year later, it's Cristal and crack.
Well, see, but I think that's what because we don't identify the issues. I don't think we identify the issues because a lot of times people want to escape from reality. That means reality is so fucked up. So we gotta
life is hard. Life is hard.
Reality.
Life is hard. It ain't crack hard. It ain't crack or heroin hard, but life is hard. Yeah.
Right, but I'm saying that's why a lot of people they be like, oh shit, I don't want to be here. Let me find something to take me away from here. And so they go with the heroin because it lifts them to another level. So we gotta address the issues, what is causing those issues to begin with. And it could be our social structures, our healthcare, the stigmatization of Black folks, the trauma that Black folks have, the racistness, the racism built all into this country that people try to ignore like it shit is like we making the shit up like, oh what? Oh well, I don't see it. And like when white folks say I don't see it, motherfucker, you white. You're white.
Right. You're not gonna see it until you talk to me. You need to walk with me. Walk with me. God damn it. You don't
it don't affect you.
You don't see it because you are it.
Yep.
You can't see it.
You're not in traffic, you are traffic.
So until you come to place. Right. So until we start having an honest kind of conversation about what is the issues in America, we're gonna still have the same because people try to turn a blind eye and tell
it's hard to do. It's gonna be hard to do as long as it continues to benefit people who choose not to see it. Like as long as they keep getting the full benefit of it, it's gonna be hard to change. Like it's not enough white folks that are like, oh, the benefit should benefit everybody. Like they like, nah, fuck that shit. If I don't want 90%, I want the whole 100.
Right, but then you can't say well, we need to say that. Then if you have that attitude, then you can't say why they take away the Pledge of Allegiance and the flag because one, who do you pledge allegiance to, and then taking away God in schools, but you don't really believe in God because therefore then you want to treat me like I should be treated. Right. Like this, you don't believe in any of that shit unless it affects you.
It affects you.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So you can't really say you believe in all that.
To the whole shit. If it don't affect you, it don't matter. If it don't affect you negatively, it's never going to change. So as long as that white privilege is benefiting the majority of them, and they choose not to see it, then it's going to be a long road for us. But keep fighting the good fight, everyone.
Yeah, people just got to be real with each other, and come to terms that shit is changing regardless. I know that's why temperature has racked up because they see the shift in demographics. I know like Republicans right now change the laws in terms of voting because they know they can't win. You gotta rig the shit. That's why you get so bent out of shape. But you know that shit is rigging. You the motherfucker rigging is still losing.
Right.
Like, damn, I thought we had this shit.
And that's the thing we're gonna figure out. They're gonna figure out a way. Like they're not allowing people in Georgia to bring food. They saying what's it, a misdemeanor or a felony if you bring food or water to people in line. So guess what? They're gonna do it before. Like everybody gonna be at church and they're gonna have food and water at the church, and then y'all walk over to the goddamn voting booth with your food and water in your purse. God damn it. Stop being stupid.
Right. Every time Republicans lose, they haven't won a Republican vote in years. So they already know. And I think I read somewhere, somebody said Texas is not it's not red, it's oppressed. Because that's shit why, because they ain't letting them vote correctly. So it would be blue.
Right.
That's what they're afraid of. Because if you turn if Republicans, if Texas go blue, it's over.
New York, and California, it's a wrap.
It's over.
That's a wrap. We don't need there's no more such thing as swing states in Iowa and Wisconsin. Don't nobody care about them no more once Texas turned blue.
Another thing, and this is kind of off topic, but the things I've learned during COVID is the fact that you can. And this, I guess, is something that actually is something in the news because there's the infrastructure push that Biden is is pushing and building back bridges and roads. But the things I realized in this pandemic and people working from home is that here a lot of people always say, what happened to the small communities? What happened to like the communities where the factories were, and now they're no longer valid and rural areas and stuff like that. I think the way you combat dying communities is infrastructure, and I mean, like, and this is more I don't know, because if you have Wi-Fi, you can live any fucking place you want, especially with the work from home thing. So if now I want to live in bumblefuck West Virginia up in the
I want to live in Bali. I want to live in Bali.
But I'm just talking about in America. If I can bring my dollar to this small community and still work and get my,
because there's actually a large population of America that doesn't have Wi-Fi or cell phones or computer. Like it's 1980 down over there someplace as far as their technology is. So you're right, Rob. Give the whole infrastructure of America, like blue 5G, the whole country.
Right. If I can work anywhere, like some people love living in the country, but you can't work there because there's no jobs. But now, if I got Wi-Fi and I can work from home, because we found out 99% of the shit you can do from home.
I got to come into the office once a month at the most.
So that tells you that you can build back communities that you think have been lost forever. And I'm talking about like Scranton and stuff like that. They always talk about.
But why wouldn't they do that? Why wouldn't they do that?
I don't know, because
there's some advantages.
Those jobs ain't coming back. Those jobs are not coming back that were there. So
because it makes sense for the businesses to keep you at home, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like your risk of commuting back and forth, the office space that we got to keep. Like now we can give you a stipend for paper and a printer and all this stuff. You can have your own. It's still cheaper than the paper costs that we're going to incur, because you're not going to print as much as you would because it's your paper now. You know what I mean? Like all these different things that you could cut out, it makes it better for the companies too. And if you in South Dakota and you working, that job in New York City may be $40,000 a year, but I could pay the South Dakota dude 20 because he lives in South Dakota, and it's the price of living is more than half than it is in New York City. So you absolutely, but why wouldn't they do that? It's because they're not. It doesn't seem like they're going to do that.
But I mean, if it keeps, I mean, because I think I read an article that it's not going back to the way it was. Even now, like especially with the younger folks, they're like, "No, motherfucker, I'm not going to work." Like and I think
I can imagine.
Big up to the millennials. Big up to the millennials.
I can just imagine somebody that graduated from college just now starting their career, and they're starting off virtual. Like what the fuck?
We hired 4 people during 2020, and they've never been into any office yet.
Yeah, I think that's how ours is too. Like we hired a good at least 12 or so, and they haven't been in the office. Like.
So this actually kind of works because it actually brings a lot of things. I was just saying it brings a lot of things. It just brings a lot of things because you have because eventually the landscape of the cities will look differently because you don't need office buildings, so therefore they got more parks, more trees. Global warming
may change a little bit, may slow down a little bit.
Tear them buildings down.
So it may take the millennials and future generations to turn this shit around making them say, I want to live in Wisconsin but work in a New York state of mind type of job,
right?
Or the big city. Sure. It may take the actual workers to make the change instead of the employers and the government.
Right, and there's a lot of companies already are doing that thing. Like a firm is 100%. Online, there's a lot of companies that have moved that direction. I mean, so you can definitely do it, and that would bring small town living back to people who love small town living. Bringing those shops back because now you got to feed people that are there.
Shout out to Delaware. Shout out to Delaware, Yoda.
Well, yeah, Delaware
is definitely a small town.
Delaware, Delaware.
We call the big city. We call it town. Going in town.
But Delaware is popping in terms of relocation because people have decided they want to live, especially around the beach area. That market is hot in Sussex County because like I said, people can work from anywhere, so they're like, shit, I want to live by the beach and have lower taxes.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, Delaware is the spot. Oh, and the president is from Delaware.
Yo,
Yeah,
I can tell you,
helps
in my neighborhood / community, in during the year 2020 and 2021, I've had at least 5 new neighbors that has moved in from New Jersey, New York, Maryland, states popping. They realizing that it's cheap to live here. They probably selling like mad property or even that they're getting moving here because a lot of companies are now relocating them here. Because we're headquarters and corporations and stuff are headquartered here. People are moving in here in drones, realizing how inexpensive it is compared to where they are. It's bananas. It's bananas, man.
Yeah, it is.
BANANAS.
What else is going on in I heard 6ix9ine's concert got cut short because his chain got snatched when he jumped in the crowd.
What?
Who cares?
Nobody. I just thought it was it was one of the popped up.
I didn't even know he was still around.
As far as what else is going on, I haven't heard the whole concert, like just on a music tip. So on a music tip, I hear that Jasmine Sullivan's virtual concert is bananas. I need to hear part of it. I heard a little bit on. I heard a little bit on Sirius XM. I gotta like Google it to hear the rest of it. I heard a little bit of it like maybe 2 nights ago. But this virtual concert that a lot of artists now are going to because they can't go into and fill up venues and stuff. Even still, they can only do like 30% capacities or whatever. There's all these restrictions. They're and like we watched the awards and Grammys and all that kind of stuff. It was a lot different this year. So a lot of them are doing these virtual concerts. But the part I heard of the concert is crazy.
She did one on HBO. That was pretty good.
Ooh, Jasmine?
Yeah. Like
I will pay to go and see her any day.
Speaking of that, Dev. Speaking of that, Dev, and speaking of music, your boy Usher about to have a residency in Vegas.
Yeah,
I've seen that. I'll be there.
I'm not even gonna knock us on that, yo. Yo, Usher have a residency in Vegas. That's a definite reason. I wasn't gonna bring up the promotion. I was just I wasn't gonna talk about the promotion.
Oh yeah, what happened with the Usher Bucks against somebody?
Usher Bucks in the strip club, and the strippers thought they was he was making it rain in that club.
Gosh.
And then they went back and said he gave us Usher Bucks and no real money. And he came out and was like, nah, it was a promotion. The strippers knew. The strippers knew about it, and I paid the strippers in kind afterwards.
That's genius,
and look, everybody talk about the
streets. I keep money. I mean, a man got his own money.
Look around. I don't like Usher. Usher Bucks.
He's just sitting back listening.
That was a good promotion. That was a good promotion. But Usher gonna have a residency. I don't know when. They said
not in that type of establishment. That's the wrong place to play with people's money. That's their only bread and butter. That's the wrong place.
That's why they knew before. That's why they had to know before.
I think they.
That's what I'm saying. They had to know before.
Yeah, I don't think he would just.
They're not picking up. They're not raking up that money.
They're not telling us something.
You know how they be having the shovels and the rakes and shit. They're not doing that and seeing that. No man, they fucking shit up. You see some fake money.
Right. They don't know for the jump. You look at one bill. You look at one bill. You saw his face on. You know his shit is not right. Like, wait a minute. What's your face on that shit?
Right.
Usher already walking out before they start collecting the money.
Unless he did it like
as often as they see dollar bills, they should be able to look at a counterfeit dollar bill and see it's off alignment by a hair.
Right, and it's not unless he did it like at the last song. Unless he did it with the last song at the last dance of the night, motherfuckers already had collected their money, and in the back they should have already.
What I heard is he did it the whole night.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That shit was definitely definitely a promo.
They knew at 6 o'clock in the afternoon.
And it worked.
6 o'clock in the
They're
evening.
trying to give him a bad name.
And it worked. It worked.
Look, everybody talking about it. We talking about it.
Right.
Usher
It definitely worked.
So now he actually has to have this residency, doesn't he? Because that's what all he was promoting.
He has a residency.
I thought it was still in negotiations. So when is it,
he already has it.
I think it's in July, right? Yeah, July. Yeah.
Oh, that July 8th sound better and better.
I think it starts on July, but I don't think it starts in like July 17th for some reason.
It would be like that. It would be that way.
Come on.
I could be wrong.
Go from August 12th to July, whenever it starts. A week in Vegas may be too long.
August to July. What you talking about, Lou?
August to July. You were back.
No, I said go from. I said August 12th, July 12th. My bad, July 12th to the time. But then a week in Vegas.
A week in Vegas.
At any point in the year, whether it's summertime, wintertime, that's way too.
That's
long.
A lot. That's a lot.
It don't start till the 16th.
Like, even back to Leo being there from 8th to the 14th.
I could do like the 12th to the something.
No, stay from the 13th until the day after the first show.
Right, something like that.
The day after the first show, be gone. Because it's going to be
if it's not sold out, because they already had to add more dates because that shit was popping. So
if
it's a residency, ain't it like 6 months?
It depends. It depends on
how long they keep them too.
Right. I mean, it's Usher,
and then they fly in and out, right?
Right.
Yeah. So that's a good show, man. That's gonna be a good show.
You know how we all been waiting for that Chris Brown and Usher versus that at this point won't happen, right? But to that point, me and Mike Mowbray, we were talking about it the other night, last week, right?
Y'all arguments about these verses, yo.
These verses is crazy, right? So he was like, I went to his crib and he played us a track and of Chris Brown, because he's like, Chris Brown will get him. I was like, but think about it. Usher, he's doing like if you listen to a Chris Brown record, Chris Brown is redoing like a remix of a record. Like, for example, he reused like the I Love Your Smile beat when he did the whatever the name of that record is, or whatever that was big back in the day. I said Usher is doing remixes of his own songs of like with like people on there, like the version of the You Make Me Want to Leave, the one I'm with, that was like 30 years ago. He's using his same hits and using them 30 years later, and they still popping.
But I think Usher versus I think it'll be a tie, because I think 20 for 20 they can battle 20 for 20 and it'll be a tie.
Yeah.
But what song?
If you go 100 for
I
feel what you're saying, Ryan. You go 100 for 100. You go for 100 for 100, maybe.
Confessions album.
The Confessions album?
Like a song from the Confessions album, like which one of Chris's songs is bigger than a song on the Confessions album? Like, you saying it's a tie, but
it'll definitely be a tie.
The one that was in the bubblegum commercial. She was bigger than
about that joint. Bubblegum pop.
That was early.
No. That Confessions album is the best album.
Run it will do it.
No.
Excuse me, Miss. What's that? The second one.
Yeah.
That song was a bop, yo. This was a bop, yo. Like, don't get me wrong.
You work down. We'll take you down.
You make me. I think Usher has the better career. I think Usher has the better career. But 20 for 20. Yo,
20 for 20
Chris Brown's competing with him.
I don't know if he has a better career. He made less mistakes. He made better mistakes. He made less mistakes.
Yeah.
If the Rihanna situation doesn't happen, that is true.
Exactly. I agree.
If he puts out the same exact music. Even if he puts out the same exact music, if the Rihanna situation doesn't happen, it's the stratosphere. I agree with that.
Well, obviously they're not.
I love Usher. As we stand, Usher has the better career, but it's because of that little bump in the road. Or
no, it was a big bump.
Absolutely horrible. Yeah, it was absolutely horrible. Absolutely horrible, almost unforgivable. But he definitely if that did not happen, he would be better, Dev. I'll give it to you.
Yeah, he was getting there. He
Confessions album though.
I think with that humongous bump in the road, Usher is better.
Okay.
Overall.
Okay. Can you name one Chris Brown album that you can play backwards to front? I'm a Usher fan. I agree with you on the Usher song. You can play the whole entire album.
I can play Chris Brown's first album.
His first album was dope.
So no, I can't. No, I can't.
Yeah.
I'm on
his first album. His first album definitely.
That first album was my favorite album. The first album was my favorite.
Send that first album to me. I want to hear it, and I want to see if I can listen to it without tolerate. I want to tolerate it. I want to tolerate it.
The crazy part, me and Rob drove to Atlanta one time and listened to that whole album.
I want to hear it. Because you just said that his first album is better than Confessions. I need to hear it.
No, that's not what you asked.
That's not what you asked. Dev do this all the time. We do this
I was about to say, is it better?
You asked what's an album, Chris Brown album you can listen to from front to back.
That's all I want to know. I need to hear it.
That's what you just said.
But we didn't say it was better than Confessions. We didn't say it was better than
Confessions. Dev does this all the time.
What I'm saying is, the whole comparison was like, I started. The premise was, I said a Confessions album I can listen to front to backwards to front. And that's how I started by saying that. I started by saying an album of Confessions I can listen to backwards to front, and I don't have to skip a nary song. Name an album of Chris Brown's that you can do the same thing. So I already had made the comparison, and you said his first album.
But I'm saying this in the verses, you only need 20, and he can go 20 strong with him.
Yo, so let me ask y'all this: is Chris Brown, that first album by Chris Brown that y'all can listen to back to front, is that better than Confessions? That's the question that
I can only say yeah because I never listened to Confessions front to back.
Oh my God, Lord
never.
Jesus help me.
So Rob, what about you? Calm down, Devin.
I listen to both of them front to back. So they're one. It was
so they're equal in your opinion.
Because they're different parts of his life. What you call Chris Brown was the young boy, where what you call had his, like he came strong from the gate because Usher did not come off strong from the gate.
Oh yes, he did. With the saying that, can you get with it?
Down. They said,
you get with it?
He need a little more seasoning up in this motherfucker.
His second album, My Way was his hit. Got him to the stratosphere, Dev. That was the second album.
And even when they was the album. And what was the song where and what was the song that he had to go back in the studio because it was not a hit? It was before You Remind Me. There was a song before You Remind Me that was trash.
That was like his fourth album, though. Like that was like 4 albums.
We're talking about garbage. His second album was My Way. His second album was My Way. That first album when he was like 14. That was the album that you're talking about wasn't the best. But his second album came out and he went from he went to the top after that.
Right. I don't have a problem with Usher. I think Usher's a great artist. Right. I'm just saying.
Right. You shouldn't have a problem with it.
I don't have a problem with Chris Brown. I said it'll be a tie. 20 for 20.
It's an argument to be made. You don't have to have a problem with it. It's an argument because some people on the podcast disagree. I think 20 for 20 is 20 for 20 is a tie. You go for career. I like Usher's career. I'm a more fan of Usher than I am Chris Brown.
Yes,
but I'm fine with any answer. Like it's no wrong answer. It's literally like they're both great artists.
Don't say he ain't relevant.
Chris Brown is more relevant right now for sure.
Right, that's true.
They ain't asking Chris Brown. They ain't asking Usher no more to do hooks.
I mean, Usher still doing records with the same.
The reason why we having this conversation is because Usher's in the news, not Chris Brown.
Right,
he's doing a residency. That means you watch.
But he's doing a residency because of his career. Like they're not asking anybody to do a residency.
That's because he has a long enough career to do a residency though.
But he has a Hall of Fame. He has a Hall of Fame career to do a residency.
Chris Brown could do one too, but I don't think he
ain't watched
that. He get that too, but
he ain't gotta be washed. Did you say he ain't washed?
It ain't necessarily washed, but you gotta be like. I think you got to be of a certain
That's
no.
not true.
Now you're talking bad about Boys the Man. You're talking bad about
that's
Blast.
not
You like
One of my favorite time of all time. It was Wash.
No, come on. They're not washed.
Yes.
They're the best. They're the best that are doing it and have did it.
If you're not making music, if you're not making current music, you are washed. It's not a disrespectful term in that way, but y'all trying to make it. It shouldn't be.
It ain't disrespectful. But let me just say this though. It's
established. Wash sounds disrespectful as shit.
Yeah, it does. But I think that because the thing is that we would go see Usher, right? With his residency, we would go, even if it's just a concert. Us, our age, will go see Usher. Now we will also go see Chris Brown, but take our kids with us to see Chris Brown. So it's like totally different as far as that time span is, because it's like that's why Usher has a residency and Chris Brown wouldn't do it because. But
I would take my kids to see Usher too.
Yeah, but you not like your kids don't want to go see Usher.
No.
That's only because of you.
Hold up. We would all take our kids to see Usher. We would all take our kids to see Chris Brown. Our kids are singing the Chris Brown songs. They just humming to the Usher songs. They just dancing and humming to the Usher songs. They both going to the concert. They screaming at the Chris Brown concert. And they're just like, I'm happy to be here with my daddy. Like at the Usher concert,
my thing is right. I'm not taking my kids spending money on the ticket just for
who did Usher do? Is that SZA that Usher did the Come Through record with? Is that SZA?
It's either that one or LMA. It's her or LMA.
Well, he got an LMA song, but I think the SZA.
She did the remix of his song.
Through 2:45. I think that's
Summer Walker. That's Summer Walker.
Oh, Summer Walker. I knew it was the S. But that's still a relevant song. That's still a relevant song. It came out in 2020. It came out in 2020.
Yeah, but he was riding on like people. He was riding.
But that's his song. That's his
song. Like you can't deny that part.
That's fine because he was popping back when that song was popping. She made it current now.
Oh no!
He jumped on it.
Gives it on that verse.
And had him on it. Like he can't be on it. That's the thing. Like him being on that song set that song off. Like the song is good, but it's great.
He should be on it because it was his song originally. I get it.
No, it's plenty of people. It's plenty of people that take samples and don't get the artist. Like
but
I'm not with that.
Tory Lanez got a whole album. Tory Lanez got a whole album with remakes on there with the actual artists on there.
Yeah.
I don't listen to Tory Lanez enough. So that's irrelevant. Is he better than Chris Brown?
But I'm saying Summer Walker was already hot. I'm saying Summer Walker was already hot. I mean, because Drake did the same kind of thing. Drake jumped on her joint because she was bubbling. So he said, "Let me get on here," because that's what Drake do.
That's how the conversation went down. Let me jump on it. That's what Drake said.
Yeah, that's what.
Absolutely, that's what Drake do.
Yeah, that's what I believe that.
Drake sees something popular. Drake sees something popular. He jump on it.
He ain't a fool. He know, oh, this is bubbling. I'm gonna get on this
album. We'll reissue your album. I'm gonna be on it now. You got 2 editions of your album.
But see, the difference is right now, people be like, "How can I make this dope song dope?" We put Chris Brown on.
Okay. Oh wait, let me. Okay. Now, here's what's so strange about the whole that Chris Brown doesn't want to do it, because Chris Brown and Usher have done a record together, right? They did New Flame. Whose verse and delivery was better off of that song? Now and
Devin, you're going based off of Usher ear.
No, I'm just saying they did a record together. They did a record together
based off of Usher ear. Anything that you think is high,
Devin, you're suffering from that thing on your ear is Usher ear.
I'll say Usher did it.
If you were a teenager
Usher
in the 1990s, Usher ear.
Usher is the singer and Chris Brown is the performer.
Well, no,
Usher is the singer.
Chris Brown can sing.
I agree. Usher has a better voice. No, Usher does have a better voice.
Usher is the singer. Chris Brown is the performer. It's that's the difference.
No, because he can sing too. I don't understand.
I'm not saying he can't sing. I'm not saying
Usher the performer too. Usher performer.
Yeah, I was
too.
about to say you agree that Chris
But
Brown
Usher is not the better
than Usher?
performer than Chris.
I think it was more like a rap. I think it's more like a rap joint. Usher went. Chris went and laid his verse down, and Usher said, "Oh shit, I gotta come even harder."
He LL'd him. He 4 3 2 1.
Well, that makes him a better artist.
I forgot Chris Brown can rap too, though. Chris Brown's a better artist. He can rap too. Thank you.
Yeah, Chris Brown can rap too.
He can't rap. He can't rap.
No, he can rap.
Just can put. I don't think he can rap. You talking about the Look At Me Now? What else is he rapping? Look At Me Now.
That last album he did, that Slim and something, is all rap. It's like
Slime and B.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's a good album. That's a good album.
That's a good.
Now, is that the one with the 46 songs? Is that the one with the 46 songs?
No, this was Young Thug, right? This was Young Thug.
Yeah.
Now,
it's an album with Young Thug. Hold on.
Yeah.
It's an album with Young Thug and Chris Brown.
Yeah, they did it like
team
up joint.
Now you said Rob and Yoda, y'all said his first is that Chris Brown's first album. What you could listen to, I could listen to that Slime record almost completely through. Just about like all the way through. And like I said, like I'm not just team Usher. I can listen like currently, like that's in my rotation. That is an album that's in my rotation.
Is Usher currently in your rotation?
Absolutely.
Of course he is.
Absolutely. I cut the grass to Usher.
Even if I'm not,
I watched the
We done beat this one to death. Move on.
I feel like we still got more.
I feel like we should just go beat up Usher.
No,
in front of Dave.
I'm gonna help him. Y'all ain't gonna.
I was watching Drink Champs, and they had Mad Skills on there on this particular one. I thought it was an interesting question that he asked everybody. He was like, "What rapper would never make your top 5?" And I was like, "Huh, I never heard it posted that way." So I'm gonna ask y'all, which rapper would never make your top 5? Capadonna is mine too.
Oh my god,
y'all are terrible. Y'all terrible. Y'all hate on Capadonna so much.
It wouldn't make my top 5.
Yo, I like Capadonna better than you got. Y'all like you got better than Capadonna?
Man, yes, very better than Capadonna.
Which is funny because Capadonna was on the verses. He was on the verses actually too. I was like, where did they find Capadonna?
With the Red Man Method Man one, right? Yeah,
he was on that one. And I think
that would never make my top 5. That's such a good question. Can y'all get another one other than Capadonna since y'all picked the same one?
I think
Devin, you got one? I don't even have one right now.
I mean, are we talking like?
I don't like listening to
mega rap. We talking mega rap. We talking about there's rappers that come to mind that I can say that wouldn't be in my 5.
Yeah,
like any rapper.
Yeah, it don't have to
like.
Be
I feel like okay, so I feel like that I think that was like influential, like just over the years that wouldn't be in my top 5, like that was popping. I mean,
it's no criteria. They just have to have a song.
Right. Yeah.
Like some people were crazy about like Cassidy. I wasn't crazy about Cassidy. Like he wouldn't be in mine.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, he was.
Azalea would never be in my top 30.
You'll
never make that.
Okay, and on a big artist side, like Nelly would never be in my top 5, and I don't care how big his commercial he does, he will never be in my top 5.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Nelly would never be.
That's a good one. He's perpetually 7. Like he'll never get better than 7. I get you on that one. Yeah, he can't never be better than 7.
I don't always care how underlay and drop down your ego. I like the song, but you will never be in my top 5.
That Air Force One got me, man. I feel like Air Force One should have been an East Coast song. I feel like he shouldn't have got the rights to it. Like that's just a no.
Well, they were Air Force One.
Yo, the other boy that wouldn't be in my top 5 would be what's the nigga from G Unit, the dark skinned nigga.
Young Buck.
Young Buck, not Young Buck. It was another nigga.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. I can't remember the guy who came kind of like Capadonna
from Nashville.
No, not
Young Buck.
He talking about the other dude.
Yeah.
What's his name?
It's not Yayo.
Yeah.
He would never be in my top 5. Nope. Dead or alive.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
Yo, now
I get
now
that.
That's a good one.
I get that.
He done had a couple.
what are
He done had a
what are
couple
some art? I'm gonna flip it a little bit and say, like, what are some rap artists that haven't gotten the notoriety that you feel like that should be in your top 5, but they never kind of made it out of
like Fab.
underground.
Talib Kweli could make a top 5 at any given day.
Mm-hmm.
Any day to win bowls, I think Talib Kweli could be in your top 5.
I like the bull Papoose.
Oh yeah, Papoose side.
Nah, he will never make my
like
top
him.
5.
I feel like he's a slept artist.
He's on the list. I put his wife in. I put his wife and his baby in there before him.
His wife and his baby.
And the baby. I don't like.
I think he's a good. I like his freestyle, and I like his. I mean, he's not a gimmicky artist. So I feel like that's what has hindered him from being it, and he doesn't have like the appeal. He doesn't have the appeal to become super mainstream, but in terms of like his style, his delivery, like the way he spits, like he's.
Ooh,
really
I got one.
Well, the crazy part is that
I got one. Never be in my top 5. He'll never be in my top 5. Future,
okay.
Never. Future.
Okay. Yeah.
I like Future, but I would never put him in my top 5.
No.
But you know who I think is a rapper that was slept on? I think like Redman to me was kind of slept on.
Yeah.
As far as being in the top, because he like lyrically, Redman is crazy.
Right. He's still today. He's better than the cats right now.
Yeah, it still is now.
Did y'all listen? Have y'all listened to the thing that came out like last week? I think it's 180 bars or 80 bars or something like that.
I didn't listen to that one, but I listened to something that came out like last year or a year before. He was still better than 90% of rappers out today. I was like, yo. But I think he was still
like Method Man gave him his Method Man. I feel like Method Man like gave him his platform, like him being so affiliated with Method Man and Wu-Tang Clan. But he was better than all of them. Like he could rap better than anybody, all of them.
That's what I learned. That's what I learned on Versus, that Method Man did not make albums. His albums, he was like, his albums were gabashi.
He made hits.
He made some good songs, but it wasn't like he didn't make good albums.
Right,
but
he was a good feature dude. He was a good feature guy.
Yeah,
like because he was hot. He was hot in the game.
Lab with you for real, right?
Ladies loved him, so they put him on all the records. Right. So that was the reason. And Redman probably was like, he probably thought the same thing. Like, yo, ladies loved you, so that's why you was hot popping.
Yeah,
like
he
that.
said that shit, yo. He said that shit. You know, I'm the better rapper. He told him, like, you know, I'm better.
It's funny because as we was watching it, Kelly was like, yo, I never realized that Redman was so lyrical. And I was like, that's the same thing with Keith Murray. I think Keith Murray was slept on like crazy.
Yeah, for sure. Murray was definitely slept on.
That whole little crew, man. What's that crew again? Eric Sherman in it? That's why. Yeah, that album was. I like that album.
Yeah, it was like he was slept on because I think they were like too lyrical for their time almost.
Right.
Like it was. I guess we wasn't really ready for it.
And I think they was too
undergroundish.
Too underground, like even the popularity of some of the songs that Redman made, they were still. Not. I Be That was not ready for commercial. Really, if you're listening,
time for some action. That shit was just time for some action. That shit was so good, man. Look, I couldn't find it because that shit spelled wrong as a motherfucker, yo. Like
the whole album's like that. The whole album's like that.
Yeah. I forgot all about that shit.
So his shit
I can't find it. I just had to speak it into your phone. And they was like, "Oh, you made this." Like, thank you.
He was so gutter. So I think that's why he never skyrocketed. I mean, he could still tour probably. I mean, he probably still tours now, but he just wasn't. He was slept on because he was. I think he was just too. And he never changed. It was just still me.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. And like, because remember when he did MTV Cribs and he did it inside?
Yo, I was just about to say that shit. Yo, that fucking house, yo, that was so good. That's the best Cribs ever.
That's the best. I'm saying, like stuff like that. Like he wasn't one of those show off niggas. Like I got this, I got that.
You never really knew. Like, is he a millionaire? He got right. Does he keep a track of his money?
I don't want to really show off.
Right, he never did.
He came out with a song last year, and I just love it. But y'all gotta look it up. I think it's called "Slap You" or "Slap the Shit."
Oh yeah, I heard that.
That's funny.
All right. Is there anything else we need to talk about? Or you talking
Nah,
about
man, I'm hungry. That's what I don't want to talk about food because I'm hungry.
You talk about a lot of ridiculousness, especially with the Usher conversation.
Well, look, Rob,
we need to get some things out on the table about this Usher.
I know this isn't our usual format to give our viewers, our listeners, maybe like a heads up on what's coming up in the next few weeks from Brews and Banter podcast in terms of like guests or people that are appearing, because we don't know. People can, switch dates or whatever.
We just want to have a guest today.
But I'm not. It doesn't necessarily need to stay. It doesn't necessarily need to stay in that order, but hey, maybe give them a little bit of a round table or a little runoff list of like what's coming up from the podcast.
What if they don't come?
They don't come on, then they.
What do you mean they don't come? Is that's what we banking on? I mean, we've been pretty
positive about we're positive about everybody, but like you said, we had a guest today.
I'll just say we got some good guests coming up.
Right, I guess. We. You want to give.
It's not even that. Like we got.
I'm not saying you need to give no names. I'm not saying.
I got a special episode that I'm recording for us.
Right.
Coming up.
Oh yeah,
so
coming up.
With DJ Effin, so that'll be dope.
Yeah, okay. There we go. I mean, we got some.
That's a heavy hitter too, because
we
wanted like 5 podcasts right now.
Please don't say DJ Effin no, because he don't like that.
Well,
you gonna fuck the game early.
I know.
Yeah, like
we're crazy. Let's do
like,
that.
For example, we're wrapping up April. May should be an exciting month. We'll have guests on to talk about like barrels of flow in May. We'll have
we got people that talk about window seats, sitting down window seats while they flying.
Right. Will we? For real?
Yeah, next week. If if somebody likes to sit by window seats and people take pictures of them doing the same thing, who's gonna be on there next week.
Okay. That's an interesting way to put it. I didn't catch on to that hit.
Right. But I mean, for listeners, especially in the beer community, they probably know who it is. If you're sitting by a window seat right now flying and you take a snapshot looking out the window,
okay,
who is it?
Right. There it is.
That's your guess for next week, brothers.
Right.
I still don't know.
Y'all should know by the calendar.
Yeah, Lou looking at the calendar like I still don't. I can't find
it. No. See, you've been going long enough. I did get the update, and I got the calendar schedule now.
Oh, on his right. It's now officially.
You have missed that. I'm synced up.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, we do have some. Well, I mean, we have a lot of guests coming up.
We always have good guests, guys. Y'all know we have good guests.
We do have good guests.
It's
a little teaser.
If it's not, we got 4 great guests. Right. If we don't have a guest, we're gonna have 4 great guests for y'all because we're fucking awesome. That's it.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right. I mean, we do have some news coming up about some things that we're being a part of locally. As well.
That's true.
So there's a lot of news coming down the pike in May.
May will be, I think, an exciting month.
I hope that's better than April.
Right.
Right.
It has to be. You can only go up. You can only go up from here, Yoda.
It has to be better than April.
Right. Yeah. Nothing can stop him. I'm all the way up.
And I forgot to talk about how. It was movies. Anybody else watch Concrete Cowboy on Netflix?
No.
What is it?
Concrete Cowboys. With Idris Elba and my man from
it's great.
Stranger Things. It's a good movie. It's about the Cowboys in Philadelphia.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah,
That was his dad, right? He went and lived with his dad. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I saw the previews for
Yeah,
it.
it was a good movie.
Mortal
And they had
Kombat
like
came out. Anybody see Mortal Kombat?
I started. I
did
didn't
not.
finish it.
But I'm gonna check it out on HBO.
I mean,
I
but
just saw
most
the
people
trailer.
saying it's trash, but it's Mortal Kombat. Did you think it was going to be
Right,
Oscar worthy?
Yeah.
I didn't think it was
Like,
going
what
to
was
be
supposed to be-
gold.
what was
Right.
supposed to be
It's gonna be fighting. It's gonna be
If
combat.
they punch off your head or chop off your arm, it's Mortal Kombat. That's
Right.
what it was.
Yeah.
As long as the characters look like they should and they doing the shit that they do.
Yeah, I think sometimes people's point of
Sub-Zero in
view,
the
it
trailer,
don't
I
even
saw
match.
Sub-Zero picked up
Yeah, it don't even match the
Sub-Zero put
critique.
somebody in Frozen, and
Yeah.
fucking Scorpion became Scorpion. To
Right.
see the origin
Right.
of how Scorpion became Scorpion, that was enough for me. Like, what you want? It's a game.
Right.
So you did watch it, Lou? You watched it all?
No, I just watched the 8-minute trailer, so I watched it pretty much.
All right.
That shit was
Yeah,
long
but
as hell.
I saw a lot of people saying it was trash. I saw a lot of people saying it was trash, but I'm like,
what I saw, I liked.
What I saw was Mortal Kombat. I didn't go in there expecting. I didn't expect. The game is finish him. And,
I love the game.
Right.
And that's what they got in there.
Some finish them. Right. It's
I just think that if the characters don't look the way they should, it will make it whack. But from the previews, it looked like everybody's straight.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But you know what's and I was wrapping up. But you know it shows bananas that you shouldn't let your kids watch it.
Yes.
Invincible on Amazon Prime. It's a cartoon. That shit is crazy.
What's it about? Give us a little. What's it about?
It's about a boy. He's 16 and he is his dad is from another planet, so he has superpowers, but he didn't have his superpowers yet. Then he gets his superpowers, so it's about him coming into his own. But the shit that go on around this shit is crazy. It's
like American Pie.
No, it's kind of like The Boys in cartoon form almost. So if you like The Boys, you'll probably like Invincible.
Okay.
The books from like
I
the
started
80s?
watching The Boys, but
The Boys on Amazon. The other Amazon show.
The Boys from the
80s. But the cartoon, it's a crazy show. I'm only like 4 episodes in, or maybe 3 or 4 episodes in. But
you said that's on Prime.
Yo, I just got done. I just got finished watching Snowfall. Anybody who has not watched Snowfall,
I ain't finished it yet.
Oh my god, you need to watch it.
We may need to have a Snowfall minute. We may have to have a Snowfall minute to replace that Power minute.
Crazy.
Well, it's over now because you see the finale ended, right? The finale was there.
But that was the end of the season. It can't be the end of the
Oh no, they already signed it off for the next year. They already
this shit.
I think the next 2 years. I think they already.
Oh yeah, good.
More seasons.
I need them to hurry up with that because that shit's crazy.
Yo, what
I
about
heard a lot of good things about it?
Well, now I gotta finish watching. I'm like 4 episodes behind.
I'm so far behind. I'm like a season behind.
So
I'm just getting to the end of season 1. So
shit, you way behind.
I know.
I was sitting in the middle of season 3 for a while, but when I got
what season they on? 6. What season just wrapped up?
4.
6?
4, yeah.
4.
Season 4. Okay.
Yeah. So when
how many episodes first? It's the same episodes, like what? 12?
Like 12, 12.
Okay. I'll be there by the time season.
It's and I watched them. Just sat there and watched all of them for the most part. I had nothing else to do.
Oh, was this your first time watching?
No, I had been watching it out. I stopped in the middle of the 3rd season, and so I started watching.
You did say that. Yeah, you did say that.
Yeah.
Have y'all been watching them? Have you anybody watched them?
I haven't watched it.
We watched it.
Kelly watched it. I haven't watched it.
Yeah, we watched it. It was something.
Did y'all watch Black Box?
Yeah, we watched.
No, I was going to watch that. I was going to watch that the other night. That's what Alicia Rashad in it, right?
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah, that was interesting. Yeah. I also watched a show on BET Plus called Bigger. It's a good show. I do have BET Plus.
You are just subscription happy, aren't you?
I have BET Plus.
No,
I'm working on my new podcast. It's all about television.
Y'all ignorant, man.
I don't have Tyler Perry TV.
Right.
No thanks.
Oh, and it is some shit that you be like, the fuck is this? Like there was a show. There was a show on there. It's called It's called Bruh. It's a show called Bruh. It is so bad, but you can't stop watching it.
That means it's good. That means it's good.
No, it's horrible. Like I can tell you,
so bad. I can't wait
horrible.
to watch the next episode. How many episodes you gonna watch?
I finished the season, but it was so bad. Like I was like, he just be like,
is it a comedy or a drama?
You can't fucking tell with Tyler Perry. You be like,
it's a mashup.
Yeah, because it'd be like, they be laughing one minute, and then this nigga get arrested for sexual harassment. You be like, what the fuck? Oh, so crazy.
He is not. He is not, Robert. He is not on the Shonda Rhimes type time.
Yeah, he on. Well, it's crazy because even though the show
everything ain't like, Tyler Perry, is it?
No, because Bruh is Tyler Perry, and Bigger is Will Packer. I don't know what the fuck. William Packer need to walk over to Tyler Perry and say, "What the fuck are you doing, bro?" Like even the shit that it don't even look right. It look like
they got the cheapest cameras,
right?
Like he's still doing his first movie.
But I think that's where how he's rich.
I get it, but Will Packer doing all right too.
No, because he been making the movies the same way. It looked like a play. Ever since it went from play them, it's been the same camera.
Yeah,
that's the same angle.
But you like you changing the content because now like in Bruh, they like fuck you this fuck that shit. Like he write direct and he write direct and executive produce this show.
That's another reason. That's another way he saved money. He do everything.
He do all of it. He do it all. But it tells because he has nobody in that writer's room obviously that says
nobody influencing him.
That don't even make sense, Tyler. Like no, like I mean I get it. You don't want to. I mean he owned the studio. You don't want to be like. This shit dumb, dog. Like you ain't working again.
Somebody gotta get a contract. Somebody gotta get a contract that can tell him
that nigga said that bad thing. You ain't working for nobody. So Tyler Perry shut your ass down and that's it.
Like it was. I give you an example.
Robert.
Oh no.
On this show, this guy he owns a sandwich shop, but he gets his cousin is a drug dealer. And so he wants to open up a nightclub. He was like, I'll give you the money. Everybody was telling him not to take the money from the drug dealer. He took it, and now he all shook. So his boys, because he was trying to get the money from his bros, because I guess they're all fraternity brothers, but they never say what fraternity they're in. But that's why his bros, so eventually, and there was this one particular scene that was ridiculous. So their bros went to go see the drug dealer and said, nigga, you gonna take this money and you gonna leave our brother alone. One, he a drug dealer, and y'all just came into the house like that. I know it's his cousin, but he could have just shot all you motherfuckers. Right. But then he goes to the thing, and this is where a script supervisor would have helped because because now my man is stressing out in the club, and so he walks in, and then the drug dealer said, Yo, you got some good people with you. They real loyal. They came and saw me. So you out the game. So I'm done. You good. You don't have to pay me back. They took the money, and he was like, we good? Like, yeah, this is all you, son. Yeah, this club is all you. I'm out. He was like, word. So you all out? He's like, yeah. And then 5 minutes later, he said, let's bring the keys back. Bring the keys to me. I thought I could have it. What you mean? You just told me.
You just told me I was good.
Why you want the keys though?
Right, because he was good. He was like, I'm done. He said, yeah, this ain't my lane. I'm gonna stick what I'm good at, and that's doing drugs. But then he took ownership of the club. I don't understand. You just told me I was good. That was the script supervisor saying it didn't make any sense. But
not at all.
So then he went back. So he didn't. So now he don't have the club. He just had a sandwich shop. I was like, who read that script and said that made sense? It did not. It made no sense. But I had to finish.
I'm so confused. Oh my god!
I'll never watch it. So
this shit was crazy.
And why is he afraid of his cousin?
Like, well, he wasn't afraid. He was afraid. Well, he was afraid because it was drugs. It was drug money. It was drug money. So then he'd be a drug dealer type of thing. And then the lady. It was dumb. Especially that. That's it. I mean, none of this stuff. It's like
Yeah, we talked about this way too much.
Well, because Tyler Perry, he gets no. I get it. He's that dude, kind of like Kanye. Nobody can tell me nothing because shit. I made it. I did this shit on my own. Whatever. Whatever. I was wrapping up like 15 minutes ago.
We had to put the TV section had to be let in.
Yeah, work. That's a taste of my new podcast coming soon. Called
I watch dumb shit.
It's called.
I watched it. I subscribe to everything.
I try to support Black-owned businesses. Unfortunately, I don't have titles, so I went with BT Plus. You know what I mean? Black. Okay. There you go.
Let me know when. Tell next week. Tell us about one of the good ones that you watch. I don't want to hear about. I don't want to hear about that shit. Oh yeah, but you didn't mention. Good. You didn't say it was good. You told us all about the terrible shit.
Oh, that's because I was just telling you an example of how ridiculous him being the only person so you think, in the room.
The Packer guy is probably gonna have better shows on this.
I mean, Will Packer is make better quality anyway. In terms of visually anyway. That's why I can't understand what Tyler be doing. Like, don't y'all both in Atlanta? What the fuck is it? What is going on?
They're friends, like
like you don't look at him and say, "The fuck you doing?"
But that's the thing. Tyler don't want his shit to look like that. He wanted to look the way it is.
Yeah, but not everything. I'd be different if it was the. If
it didn't look that way, it'll be fucked up. Because it's not Tyler Perry.
But you change your content. Tyler Perry wasn't cussing and ushering either, but all this got F-bombs all over the place. So that wasn't his brand. So he changed his brand. So let me get some I
don't think I think it's still a subsect of the Tyler Perry fans watched it. And
I think that's what
and more than half of them loved it. Like, you know what I mean? Like they the scene that you said was terrible, they're like, oh, he wrapped it up so well.
Because I'm not a Tyler Perry fan. I don't even like the movies. Like it's
he ain't wrapped nothing up in that series.
somebody thinks so. Besides, it's a fan that never met Tyler. No, it's a fan that never. It's some people out there that never met Tyler that love it. You should go into the comments.
I know it. I need to see if anybody else was in that writer room, because if not, that explains a lot. Because that was like, it made no sense. Like it was like it was, and and it also seemed like he said,
"Rob, we don't care anymore. Forget Tyler."
Because it was so funny. Because it was like, it's so funny to me because he put like, it must be on the script. It must be like 2 words on the page. Be like, "Hey, what's up?" And then he asked them to improvise the rest of the shit. Like, because it'd be like, "Hey, what's up? I'm good. Oh yeah, I'm just good here. Yeah, I'm good." Like,
stupid.
He is banging up over there.
He just trashed the hell out of
Tyler
Perry. Good Lord.
Tyler Perry gonna watch this. Like, I was thinking about Tyler Perry gonna watch this. Was like, I was just thinking about signing these fellas too.
Right.
I love
Rob screwed that up.
I love Tyler Perry. I got his app. He get 50% off my $9.99.
Oh, he really got you hooked and bait.
You know what? Tyler Perry allowed to have a couple bombs. If you love Tyler Perry, he allowed to bomb every once in a while.
Right. I mean, I'm not saying. I mean, I support the actors on it. They getting paid. That's good. I mean, I'm just saying.
The improv actor.
I'm just saying, tighten up.
Tighten up.
That's all.
Get better, Tyler.
Well, my stomach is tightened up. I need to go eat. I will tell you that.
All right. Oh, before we wrap up, we all like to know how people can find yourself. Dev, how can they find you?
Quickly. Find me on Instagram. Legendary Brew.
Lou?
I'm on them Instagrams. Lou Belgium.
There it is.
You can find me on Instagram at 302 Yoda and on Instagram and Facebook at Delaware on Grind.
And you can find Bruising Banter Podcast on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Bruising Banter Podcast. You can also listen to podcasts on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, anywhere you listen to podcasts. You can even say, Alexa, play Bruising Banter, because we are on Amazon Music and Pandora and iHeartRadio, if you didn't know that either. If you want to follow me, Rob G, Rob Say Bruising, you can also get merch if you like our Bruising. I don't have it on today, but if you like Bruising Banter merch, there it is right there. You can go to www.bruisingbanter.com. As always, and if you don't want to pay the money, you can always rate and review because that all still works as well. And smash that like button on YouTube and follow us. Follow us. Turn on those notifications so you know when the new episodes are dropping.
And share. Make sure to tell your friends.
Tell a friend.
Tell a friend.
We gather here together to listen to Bruising Banner podcast. There's nothing I would rather. All right.
Bye,
until next time, this has been episode 117, the Check-In 3.0. Until next time.
Have a good week, everyone.
Have a good week. Yo,
light work.
You should be exhausted.
I am. In case you can't see it in my face.
I can see it.